Following an exciting Game 2, and that doesn't even start to tell the story. Here to do just that, John Gonzalez and Noah Buono. Fellas, that was an instant classic. You felt like you could engrave the thing. 2-0, heading back to New York, a big surge from the 6-minute mark. Then it feels like San Antonio can't lose this basketball game. So much happened in that final 90 seconds, but I want to start with the question of shot selection. At 104-104, John, we get a long-range jumper from Victor Wembanyama. He makes the blunder, still has the chance. Down by 1, we get a mid-range look from Victor Wembanyama. What did you make of the decision-making offensively by the Spurs?
Yeah, Noah and I were talking about this. I mean, he had a clean look on that shot, but it's a mid-range. And when you have that pick-and-roll situation with De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama, I'm thinking, okay, let's have him roll to the rim. Now, as we're looking at it, there were a lot of Knicks around the paint. So it might have made things more difficult. Maybe he figured, I'm going to get a clean look from mid-range. But you mentioned the shot that came before that, where it was he's pulling up and deciding, here's the final play right here. Look, outstretched arm from Mitchell Robinson. You see a lot of Knicks around the perimeter of the paint, around the edge of the paint, but you're still Victor Wembanyama. One step and you could get to the rim, really. I'd much rather see him dive hard to the rim than settle for that shot. And you know, yeah, clean, maybe it goes down, then all of a sudden we're not talking about this, and it's tied 1-1. But guess what? It didn't go down. They're not tied 1-1. They're down 0-2, and in the history of the NBA, no team has ever lost 2 games at home to start a series and won the finals. The Knicks are in the driver's seat. They're feeling great about this, especially on a night, again, where Jalen Brunson didn't have it going. If you're the Spurs, you're thinking, man, Jalen Brunson had 1 good quarter against us in 2 games, and we're down 2-0.
Noah, that's a decision and a shot selection that came off the... You can hunt your look in that possession. They knew what they were wanting to try to get to. Is that the look that San Antonio was dying for?
I think the problem with it is the catch. The catch you mentioned at 104, the corner, he's in that left wing area, and it's a tough... He's catching it so far out. Then on this one, on the last shot, it's a pick and roll, but he stops the roll at the elbow, and he flares back out to the foul line. And if you look on the weak side, it is Josh Hart coming up for some help side if he wants to put the ball on the deck. I don't know how many, there was under 2. I mean, he's so long and lanky, can you maybe get there? Help side wouldn't have been there. Listen, the Spurs were down 14, and I said that is an insurmountable amount of points for a team this young to come back from down 1. This game to me felt like they were already down. It had the feeling of you're already down 2-0, you don't want to go down 3-0 because they were going to lose both at home. They break the 14-point run, and then when critical thinking mattered, when fatigue settled in, when strategic basketball IQ decision-making was at the forefront, Victor Wembanyama was not there to meet the moment. And that is where we finally have seen the inexperience from this young basketball great. And it's unfortunate because in that moment, he had a chance. He goes defensive rebound after the shot and great one-on-one defense versus Brunson. But then he turns it over. He commits the foul. You get lucky that Brunson misses that 1 free throw. And then he settles for another jump shot in a second half that he, quite frankly, was brilliant after a really bad first half.
It's been an impossibly frustrating final 90 seconds to both Game 1 and Game 2 for Victor Wembanyama. The execution, the shot selection, it's just not there. And sometimes we have to tell the story of a great one who came up short to get that taste of blood in their mouth before they finally go do the thing. This is not over yet. It's 2-0, but history tells us we have an eventuality waiting for us and the New York Knicks, John. Jalen Brunson does make that shot down the stretch, continues to be clutch in the biggest moments, and as you put it, in a game where he still didn't have his fastball, still did not have his A stuff. You're going back to New York with an opportunity to find it up 2-0.
Yeah, the Spurs are kicking themselves right now, right? Because you're in Game 1, you're up 14 in the 3rd quarter. You're thinking, okay, yeah, the Knicks were really good against the Hawks and the Sixers and the Cavaliers, but we're different. Right? We just beat the defending champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder. We should win that game. They don't win that game. They give that game away where Jalen Brunson wasn't good through the first 3 quarters. Steps it up in the 4th quarter of Game 1. Okay, that's okay. But tonight, again, you're down 14. You go on that run. Jalen Brunson doesn't have it going. He goes 7 for 25 tonight. And by the way, it's not just that Jalen Brunson hasn't necessarily been good and hasn't had his fastball in the series. The Spurs were playing really good defense on him, to a man. I mean, Castle, Vassell, Champagny, Harper, up and down, they really made him work. And you get back into this game and you get it to 104 and you're thinking to yourself, okay, now we've got the momentum. We absolutely are going to tie this series at 1-1. And Victor Wembanyama was not good in the first half. And then midway through the third quarter, he really turns it on. And for him to find it and start playing better and then give it all away after that rebound where he throws the turnover against Stephon Castle's back and on top of it compounds the error with the foul. You said it's not over. I'll say it's over.
It's over.
Because the series, it's never happened in NBA history. If they somehow pull off history, we'll walk this back and we'll say, good for you, San Antonio Spurs. But Victor Wembanyama, that series, the turnover and then the foul probably lost San Antonio a chance at a championship.
It's not to overstate it. That is the situation. That is the reality that they're now staring at. Just to recount, 97-83, New York at the 6-minute and 4-second mark, leading by 14 points. By the 3-minute mark, we were tied at 97. With a minute left on the clock, the Spurs had a lead. I only offer that once again, Noah, to really ask you what that takes out of a team, to have completed that comeback in a way and still
lose,
be going on the road down 0-2.
It's heartbreaking. It's as heartbreaking to me as what the Cavs did in Game 1 versus the Knicks when you're up 22 with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and you blow it. They force overtime and you blow it in overtime. It has that feel to it and it has even more of that feel to it because they lost both these games at home. And John mentioned the lead that they had in Game 1 and then to fight back, to literally steal the momentum from the New York Knicks. Like the Knicks looked like they had nothing going on offensively. Every single time they got the ball, crossed half court, and they even started their action after a full court press on Brunson. They had 8 to 10 seconds it left in the shot clock for them to force up a shot. Every possession down the stretch for the New York Knicks was forced a really, really rushed action because of the Spurs defense, and they weren't able to capitalize on it on the offensive end, and that is demoralizing. 4
minutes without a field goal from the floor for New York in the most pivotal moments of this game, and still a 2-0 series lead for the New York Knicks, a ravenous home crowd awaiting them to come home and try and do something they haven't done since the 70s. They're going to get their first finals game since 1999. John, again, this was not the Jalen Brunson performance we'd come to expect in this series or throughout this season. And still, the team effort, the total sum of the parts for New York has been amazing. It's Cat early in game. It's OG throughout it. McHale had his moments as well. We're not giving out an NBA Finals MVP just yet, but
we could.
We might be able to.
Who's leader in the clubhouse through 2 games in your eyes?
It's Karl-Anthony Towns, I think. I mean, he was excellent in Game 1. In Game 2, at the half, he was plus 600 to win MVP. By the third quarter, that had dropped to plus 350.
Too much action.
He's been that good, right? And again, you think if you're the Knicks, you're living a charmed life. You've now won 13 in a row. You've won 8 of your 9 games on the road. You haven't lost in 43 days. It'll be 44, I guess, somewhere any minute now. Yes, you mentioned the total team effort. All these guys have picked up Jalen Brunson, and that's what's different about this year's Knicks team. Previous iterations, Tom Thibodeau, it was the Jalen Brunson show, and if it didn't work out, the Knicks were cooked. This year, and especially in the playoffs, Mike Brown has figured out a way to unlock all these other guys. The Spurs are playing incredible defense on Jalen Brunson. They're really making him work. He has a hyper-inefficient night tonight. No problem. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be really good again, and he's going to outplay Victor Wembanyama for much of this series. OG Anunoby played well at both ends of the floor. Mikal Bridges hasn't missed a shot in like a month. This guy is automatic right now. And we talked about Josh Hart. He was my X factor this game. Non-factor this game. He was in foul trouble early, and still they overcome all this, right? Because here comes Landry Shamet off the bench. He's making buckets. Mitchell Robinson is pitching in. This really is a total team effort by the Knicks this playoffs, and kudos to Mike Brown, kudos to the Knicks. They deserve to be up 2-0, because I was talking about what the Spurs did to give away the first 2 games. Well, how about what the Knicks did to take these 2 games?
Shaquille O'Neal is infamous for the others as well as his 4 titles, but he credits his 4 championships because of the others. And the others on the Knicks have just been night and day better than the others on the Spurs. The depth of the New York Knicks bench has just outplayed the Spurs bench. And then when you look at Karl-Anthony Towns, if you know me, you know I'm not one to overreact. He's 100% the Finals MVP. And the heartbreak that you just touched on, that we just elaborated on because of that 14-0 comeback, I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs were swept. They got 2 games in Madison Square Garden. We joked about this, John, and I didn't think it was a real possibility. Could the Knicks sweep round 2, round 3, and the NBA Finals? That is on the board, ladies and gentlemen. It is 100% on the board, given the fact that the New York Knicks are going home, and I said it in the pregame, why would I ever pick against a team going into a game when they haven't lost in 43 days, make it 44 days? I'm not going to do it in Game 3, and I might not do it in Game 4 if they win.
And
that's what's on the board.
44, 45, we'll see you for 46. 2 days off before Game 3 in New York. I sense they want to go there, so we will head there next. Setting the stage for Game 3, headed to the Mecca, and the streak rolls on. If they do get it done in the minimum, that being a 4-game sweep, next week they will match the longest win streak in a single postseason history. The Knicks, 13 and counting.